Hi, it's Tracy here. I'm in my 60s and I'm stuck. We're stuck and we're not sure where to live. I'm 63. My hubby's 5 years younger than me, so he's not retired yet. I was forced to retire probably about 10 years ago due to health issues, fibromyalgia, deteriorating discs, and so on and so on and so on. And I worked as long as I could. I did the best I can, cutting my hours, tried to do the best I could to try and earn some income, and it just didn't work out for me. We used to live on a farm, well, an acreage, and had horses and animals, and it was great. And a big, nice house. We were doing a rent to own back then, because when we met, we were both from divorces and had terrible relationships that our money dwindled away fast of what we did have. So we ended up trying to do an acreage, but after 3 years, it was getting to be too much. It was, especially I got hurt from a horse injury, and the rest was history after that. So we ended up leaving there. We downsized hugely to a small town. We bought a mobile home because we thought that's all we needed at the time. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. It was a really nice house. It had skylights and nice big windows. It was a really nice mobile home. And I was happy there for 5 years. It was a town that I lived in for probably almost 25, 30 years, I guess. I got bored. I get bored so easy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's borderline personality disorder or my anxiety and ADHD. I don't know what the heck, but I can't stick to one spot very long. My husband always says, Tracy, every 3 years you get an itchy butt and you want to move. And all my life I've moved probably 30 times, but that's because of situational relationships and stuff. But I think seriously, I probably would have moved anyway because I just love change. It's weird. I do love change. I don't love unexpected change, but I love change. I get bored and lonely very easily. I'm an introvert, though I love being around people to a certain extent. I just don't like talking to people. So this is actually really hard for me, but I'm doing it because I have to, and I want to. I want to help people. So anyway, so back to the story, because I go off tangents very, very often. So retirement wasn't what we expected. So everybody thinks, you're going to have all this money in the bank and you can travel or move to Mexico or anything. That's not our situation. All our money went into this mobile home. So after I got bored there, we decided to put it up for rent and move to the big city. The reason we did that was because we love the mountains. We're an hour away from the mountains in Calgary, Alberta. And we love hiking. We love the outdoors. So we wanted to be closer to the mountains and family. So we moved to the city. So we started looking at high rises and just totally fell in love with them. We found them so cool, like the views and being up high and seeing everything. And so many come with pools and gyms and recreational areas. Like they got a lot to offer. But another downfall of living in the high rise where we are, we're on a main road. So it's noisy. Like, oh man, it didn't bother me the first year because I thought, oh, it's something different. It's new. I hear traffic, whatever. But now it's really getting to me. It's like, oh, you can't even go to sleep at night. And you get inconsiderate people. Like after 9 o'clock, I don't care. You got loud vehicles during the day. It's bad enough during the day and bikes and stuff. But after 9 o'clock, don't rev your engine and spin out and have those cars that go pop, 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 pop. Man, you feel like you're getting shot. It's crazy. And so that's the biggest downfall. Like I have terrible sleeps anyway. I have terrible insomnia. And, you know, as soon as I start getting ready to sleep, you know, every 15, 20 minutes, you get some arse that's going to drive like a maniac. And then you get the homeless, you know, sadly screaming and having their zoned out things. And they're yelling and screaming at themselves and hallucinating. And that's one thing about city living. However, city living has got a lot of benefits too. Like the parks in Calgary alone, like we are close to Edworthy Park. It's a huge park, and I've walked it a million times. I walked, I think, every trail in this city already. And there's Fish Creek, and there's Carburn Park that's gorgeous. Like there's deer there all the time, and there used to be porcupines, but not anymore. But I mean, you got the zoo, you've got, like, we're off of 17th Avenue, so you can go down and walk there and go to pubs and have beers and Stephen Avenue, go down there and do the same thing in People Watch, or go for a walk along the river. And there's so much to do in the city, and you don't have to drive far. That's what I like. Like we were like over a half an hour away from the city, so to drive anywhere different, it was like, oh, and to go visit family, and then so you have a couple drinks or something, that's about the max. And then you gotta, you know, you're tired and it's late, and it's like you gotta drive an hour home. It's like, oh my God. So city was really beneficial for us. So I'm thinking staying in the city is probably the best. Or is it? So living in a high-rise is actually pretty cool. My boys ended up moving to high-rises at the time too. And we really enjoyed it. So we've been here for 3 years now. And of course, I'm getting my itchy butt. I gotta get moving. I'm bored. No, we've been here 5 years. Sorry. And I'm like, oh, I need a change. I'm tired of taking the elevator all the time. I like a place where I can just go out the door and maybe water grass or water flowers and plant some flowers, or a garden. You know, with my health issues, I might not be too good at it and be able to do it, but I definitely like the chance to be able to have something, even a little box garden, and just to be able to just walk out the door and just go for a walk instead of having to take an elevator and everything. But one thing I can say is I would definitely miss the view, because the view we have here is second to none. Like we have almost a 360 degree view from the mountains all the way to the city and beyond. So when Calgary Stampede comes, we can see the fireworks, and when Global Fest comes, we can watch the fireworks, a week-long firework festival from a distance. We can watch that. We can see the Calgary football stadium, the Stampeders. We can't watch the game, but you know, we can see it, and if they let off fireworks or anything like that. So like the city lights at night are so lit up. It's so beautiful. You can see the Calgary Tower changing colors every night. TELUS Sky with their lights that mimic northern lights and change colors all the time. And just the colors of all the buildings. It's so beautiful at night. So the view is exceptional. So we're thinking, you know, we're getting older, so my hubby's got probably another 5 years before he can even think about retiring. So do we move back to the small town and just not have any debt and live in the town again and into the trailer park and where everybody knows everybody and blah, 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 you know how that goes. I'd get so lonely and bored, I think. It'd be like living out in the country. I don't know what I'd do with myself. I'd get so bored. Or do we buy a house? We're thinking, well, we don't really have enough to buy a house per se, because in Calgary alone, the cheapest house is probably 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, up to $1 million for anything nice. So we thought maybe a townhouse or anything, or a condo or something like that. And there are some nice ones in our price range. But it's like, do we want to put out all that money and then we're going to be house poor and cash strapped? Like, we only have maybe, 5-10 years if we're lucky left? Well, me anyway, because I don't know. Or do we maybe find a townhouse or something like that to rent again? Because we're renting here because we decided didn't want to put out all that money and then have worries about, the furnace going or the roof needing to be done or fridge breaking, stove breaking, all the things that go with owning a house. And so we didn't want that responsibility. So that's why we still have that with our rental property, but it didn't bother me renting. We thought, that might be something to do. So that's where we are. So do we stay renting or do we buy? I wish that we would be able to retire and be able to, get a place in Mexico or a nice lake lot somewhere. That would be ideal, but it's not feasible. And then we threw around the idea, buying a coach or a fifth wheel and just traveling to wherever my hubby works, sometimes all different towns and stuff. So we thought, we could pull into a campground and stay there for a few months or whatever and be able to travel on weekends if we wanted to. But man, have you seen the prices of like just a campground to live in? You're looking at $1,500 to $2,000 a month in some places. I mean, some of the even small towns like where we were, it's $800 a month now. No, it's not. It's more than that. I think it's $1,200 a month. So by the time you pay for your loan on your trailer and your truck and then the campground fees, like, holy smokes, and what are you getting? You're living in a trailer. Like, oh, I don't know. It's so hard. It's like stay, move, downsize again. Like, we've downsized so much, and it's amazing how a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that we're in, a small apartment, less than 1,000 square feet. And we downsized so much from our original acreage. Like, we went through 3 truckloads of stuff that went to the garbage. Sorry, I got an itchy nose. And we sold so much stuff. It's amazing what you accumulate in a few years. And so we're in that position here. We downsized so much. We moved in here. It was perfect. We had, a right amount of stuff. And 5 years later, oh my God, you can't even, every wall is got something on it. Like, and the kitchen's small. We have no space for putting stuff. Like, you just accumulate stuff. I don't know how you do it, but you just accumulate stuff. So, oh my God, it's like, what's everybody doing at 60? Like, do you move into a 55 retirement place? But those are expensive. Like, how do they expect you to pay $3,000, $4,000 a month for some of these 55 plus places? And you're not getting anything out of it. Sure, you get meals and stuff provided for you sometimes. Sometimes you don't even get that. I'm just so stuck, and I feel like such a burden because I'm not earning money. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just really tired of, I want a place of my own, like a place to just be comfortable and where we can have family dinners all together and more room to move and breathe and maybe start a painting thing. I sure don't have room here. But I don't want to be house poor and have no money to be able to travel. And we love going to the mountains and staying overnight and hiking and all that kind of stuff. And we wouldn't be able to do that because all our money would be into a house. you know, I've got a vehicle too. It's like I've cut back driving so much. I think I've drove my car maybe like twice in the last year. And we're paying extra for parking. It's going to be paid off. My car's going to be paid off next month. So that's nice. But do I keep it for a rainy day? Or do I sell it and put the money in the bank and use it for just fun money and, you know, maybe passing some down to the kids? I've got 3 kids. Like, oh, decisions at our age. It's like, you don't really have a lot of time left to really decide. You know, I'd love to live in a tiny home, and then have a nice yard and place where you can storage, because storage is a big thing in high rises. Oh my God, you have no storage. They give you a storage unit, but oh my God, ours is full to the tits. So like, if we had a place where I could maybe have a little garden, but unfortunately tiny houses aren't big in Alberta or Canada, especially here in Alberta. Like down in the States, like Texas or wherever, I think there's tiny home villages and stuff. That would be cool. You know, as long as I had a nice, comfortable place to live and I could go outside and do my thing, you know, that would be really nice. But here, if you found a lot, you're looking at $500,000 or $600,000 at least for 1 acre or maybe 4 acres. But like, who can afford that? And then build a tiny home. Tiny homes used to be what, $10,000, $20,000. Now you're looking at almost $100,000 or more for a tiny home, because they're getting so fancy. And oh God, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Like, does anybody have any options? Like, we thought we'd have this all figured out by now. It's so overwhelming. Like, I don't know. If you're in our position, what would you do? Would you just sell everything, put money in the bank, rent, and just live comfortably? Or buy a house? And I don't know. I'm stuck. Please help me. Oh, I'll let you go, because I just don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But I'd love any advice. Let me know what you're doing at over 60. Take care, everyone.